Hello and welcome to First Click of the Day, Part 4. Alright, today is, let's see what today is. Today is October 10th, 21st, 2014. So, as you know, today I went out. This is all from today actually, this folder. But I'm just going to focus in on just one picture today. It's going to be a simple one. So, let's start by closing down these panels. So I have a little more real estate to work with. And let's see. Alright, so we can see a little more clearer. I'm going to open up my shadows all the way to the right. Then I'm going to bring down my highlights all the way to the left. And look at that already. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is, just with those two simple adjustments. And just to show you how quick that was, this is before, and this is after. Before and after. Alright. Now, before I even get into really, developing the picture, I'm going to work with, a straight image. So, go to vertical. And straighten it out a little bit. Let's see what auto does. Vertical. If it doesn't really straighten it out for you, you can just hit the crop tool, and you can just, you can shift it around yourself, or you can just grab this little ruler, it says angle, and just grab it right there, just right on the horizon line, and bang. All right. And to me, that still doesn't look, let me see, it really still doesn't look straight enough for me. So I'll just adjust it accordingly. So I think it needs to be tilted to the left somewhat. Right about there. Yes. Alright. That's fine. That's perfect. So now back to our basic panel. Since I brought down the highlights and I opened up the shadows, we'll get our black and our white points. Now, usually I press Alt to Option, so when I click on the screen, I can see my white points, and there they go. That's my white points. And I don't want to have anything clipping in our release, but truthfully, to be honest, you can double click that. Sometimes I don't even press the Alt to Option. I just push it until I see the histogram. I just basically use the histogram, and I see it's clipping there, so then it's the same difference. Basically the same difference. Yeah, like you can't even see those clipping in the histogram itself. I'll bring that back. And same thing with the blacks. Alt Option, you can push it to the left, make it intensify the black points, the darkness of the shadows or whatever. But I tend to just take all that out of there actually. And then I'll add a little contrast. Nice amount of contrast. When you add contrast, it throws back in some color. So, see that? That's before the contrast adjustment. And now I'll make my contrast adjustment again. And you can see how much color it just helped put back into the image. And I'm kind of feeling that it's really still not straight. Right about there. Yeah, that looks much better. Alright. Now since I got my my highlights, my shadows, my whites and my black points, and my contrast balanced off, now I'll take my eye color picker. This is so I can get my white balance. It was cloudy out. I could actually just go in here or whatever. But I'll just target a white or gray neutral point. And basically, this is how the day was. The sun was going down. There was some pinkness in the sky. I mean, it might be a little too yellow, actually. So if you just put the cursor over the slider, you can use your arrows and adjust accordingly in increments. Sometimes I like to do that, or I'll just full blown move the slider around. It's just for a faster change if you're just dragging the slider back and forth left and right. But doing that, sometimes you can, sometimes you can just do a little too much. So at times I just like to use the arrows on my keyboard. And I like the way this looks. This is looking brilliant to me. I still got the nice pink in the sky blending into the clouds and everything, and a nice beautiful green with the orange and rust and yellow leaves on the ground, and it just, like, it was raining. It was raining this whole day. Like, if you look, I don't know, maybe you can see the water hitting. Well, it kind of stopped right here, so yeah. All right, moving on. Bang, bang, bang. Clarity. Now, when I use clarity, I don't slam it to the right. Now, look at that. I mean, it doesn't look completely horrible, but it does look bad. So, me, I adjust accordingly. So, I don't need my clarity. I don't need the clarity to be all super bumped up. 9 is good, and then the vibrance, I'll just pump that up a little bit. Not too much, because if you go too far with the vibrance, it just looks, it looks like some psychedelic nonsense. So, just take it easy with that thing. I'm liking right about there. I don't really over vibrance or over saturate or over clarity my images, because it's uncalled for. At least my images, it's uncalled for my images. Some people, they might need that type of effect. And right there, 3, saturation. I barely mess with those too often, the saturation and the vibrance. All right, tone curve. Use a tone curve, bring in some little bit of brightness, or your mid-tones, you gotta be careful with this adjustment too, because you can go overboard. You can, with any adjustment, you can go overboard. You can go the wrong way. You can put too much darkness. But truthfully, this doesn't look bad with me pulling it back. Adding a little dramatic darkness to it. Doesn't really look bad. And to go forward is cool, but then the sky is getting too bright and I'm losing like detail and everything in the sky. So actually, I'm definitely liking taking some of the brightness out of it. Now, hue, saturation, color, black and white, definitely just gonna skip that today, because I want the color. I don't have to do anything to the hue, saturation. And now, split toning. This is something I said I hardly ever use, but when I do use it, now this is for the highlights. This will basically be for the clouds, the color of the clouds. So, say, it was as if you look, you could already see like there was some little pink and orange and magenta floating around, because the sun was setting. So if I really want to enhance that, I would take this for the highlights and look at this, look at that. You put it, you could just slide this thing every and anywhere. And just like I said, you have to be careful to make sure you don't this is overdoing it, obviously. If Lightroom, if you can create a mask in Lightroom, like this would be great, because then I can just leave it here and then mask out everything else around it and just have it really prominent in the sky. But since that's not the case, you have to take it easy. I have to take it easy. So, and I'm not really adding too much extra color. I'm just trying to enhance what's already there. It was like some pinkish magenta, so I'll go this way to the pinkish rose magenta type of feel. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to overdo it to where it doesn't look natural. Now, to me, that looks natural, because basically this is what it really was looking like. I might have, the colors, it looks great to me like that. And if you feel you got too much, you could take it out. Saturation, you could, just like you can take it out, you can put it in. So you just gotta, you're the one who took the picture, or when you take a picture, sometimes you got to remember, what exactly did the day or the moment look like, so you can try to reconstruct that mood. So to me, this is what it felt like, and this is like, say you came to this park and you seen this bench and it was right here. You might just want to sit down and relax and look upon the water and the setting, soothing clouds of the Hudson River. Now I'm not gonna do the shadows because I just really want to do the highlights, just to add a little more pop to my clouds and detail. But let's go to camera calibrations too. Adobe standard. I'm using Canon, so these vary from different cameras. So I got faithful, but like I said, I love to use just the camera standard. You could use portrait, which might see it made like the leaves and everything a little more colorful. This kind of the neutral did exactly what it says it does. It's like it's not too much, not too little. And the landscape is a little too saturated for me. That's why I really just don't use it. That's why I just love to use the camera standard. All right, now to details. Yeah, see, yeah, that just looks beautiful to me. When I look right here, and it just looks like it just looks like a beautiful setting. So I know, like, I did a good job. So I'll sharpen this bad boy up to, like, let's say 97. Bring the radius down to 0.07, excuse me. Details, I want some details. So I'll push that to 45. I know there's no color noise, but I'll just, I don't even need to actually touch that. So now I'll just go to my luminance, and I'll just put that to like 20. Now masking. This is going to sharpen your image. It's going to sharpen what you want sharpened and not sharpen what you don't want sharpened. So if you just say you just want to sharpen the whole image, you would just put the masking on like that. And you didn't even see, it's hard to see what just happened. That's why you have to press Alt or Option on the Mac. I'm not really sure what it is for PCs. And then push that thing to the right, that slider. And now you can see what it's sharpening. Everything that's white is being sharpened, and everything that's black is not being sharpened. So definitely I didn't want to sharpen the clouds, or the water, really. Just the outline of the image, the horizon, the trees, the bench, the leaves, the railing. 77, all right, we go to 83, and that looks fine. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that. Nice, beautiful image. Last but not least, because I do see chromatic aberration heavily right here, and I'm not sure, but I'm quite sure, like with almost every lens, you're gonna have your pluses and your minuses. So sometimes, this lens throws a lot of chromatic aberration, and then I click remove chromatic aberration. And it didn't do such a grand job because I still see like some pieces lingering. So sometimes what I do is I go to color and I see what's lingering and I'll push it just a little bit, just to get that out of there. A lot of people really don't come here too often, and I still see a little bit of green, so I'll push that a little bit too. Alright, now I'm fine with that. And then, enable profile corrections. And that'll take care of any barrel distortions, just so you could see what it did. Yeah, see? So now what it's going to do is, like, the picture it's like it's kind of round, or some type of, there's some type of distortion in a lot of camera lenses. So what this does is it straightens it out. It flattens the whole image out for you. It helps make it more, I would say, eyeball perspective to where how you should see it or supposed to see it. Now, basically, this image is done. We're completely done with this. If I press back, this is before, and that's after. So that is a very big difference between the two. Now, I actually want to do a little dodge and burning. So I click on my brush right here, click on your brush, then make sure you click new, and then go to effect and double click that. So what I want to do is I definitely just want to dodge some things. And like I said, in Lightroom, you can push that thing up as high as you want it, and then fix it accordingly. Like I want to dodge this tree, exposure. There we go. I'm just gonna bump the exposure all the way up just because I can, and I just want to brighten this tree up a tad bit right here, and these leaves just a little bit. Sometimes just you gotta make the light complex lighting. That's what I like, a little complex lighting. And then I'll just, because these leaves are like in this grass, it's like this just seems so obvious to me. It's like it's leading me right here to this bench. So I'll paint that. Paint this in. And don't be scared to paint something in. Like, this is Lightroom is a non-destructive workflow. So if you feel you overdid something, you can actually just get rid of it. And obviously this is way too bright. So now I'll go back to my exposure and I'll just turn that down. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that. It looks beautiful. Not too bright. You can tell. Well, not really. You can't really tell. Like it's almost natural. That's how I like to have my images. I like to have my images looking more natural than anything. And that's good. Then I'll get a new brush because I want to paint this. I want to dodge. Whoops. Excuse me. Then I get a new brush because I want to dodge this bench. Right. So brighten that up. Like, come sit down on me. Come have a seat, my friend. Yes. Take a load off. Like I said, I'll brighten something up. That's why I kind of like doing my dodging and burning in Lightroom. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Photoshop dodging and burning, but I just feel like I have more control here. And like I said, if you could use layers inside of Lightroom, this thing would be so much more deadlier than what it is. Like, this is an awesome, amazing software product to use for developing images. Now, since I dodged my bench, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to look insane. I want it to look inviting, but not to where it's like, why is it so bright? And right there, I feel there's a grand look. I like that. And maybe just a little bit right here. Yeah. Not too much, not too little. And bang, bang, bang. There you have it. Here's before, and here's after. Before, after, before, after. Bang, 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 bang. All right. Thank you for tuning in, watching, subscribing, liking, and comment. And if this video helps you in any way, share it. Yeah, so guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next first click of the day.